This is the digital channel of the General Overseas Service of All India Radio. I am Manoj Mainkar, and in the next half hour, I'll bring to you news updates from India and around the world, awareness videos on coronavirus by Government of India, yoga on radio, and a lot more. We'll begin with the news updates.
This is the General Overseas Service of All India Radio. The news read by Maria Albina Michael. Film festivals worldwide are teaming up to launch We Are One, a global film festival, which will play out over 10 days and be available for free on YouTube. Tribeca Enterprises, the company behind the Tribeca Film Festival and YouTube, announced the online festival on Monday. Other festivals will also contribute curated programming, including the Cannes Film Festival, the Sundance Film Festival, the Venice Film Festival, and those in Berlin, Tokyo, and New York. The festival will benefit the World Health Organization and local relief organizations and encourage viewers to donate to COVID-19 relief efforts. Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe has said that his country is adding 14 more countries, including Russia, Peru, and Saudi Arabia, to the entry ban list as the country steps up border control as the coronavirus infections continue to spread in the country. Japan has already banned entry from more than 70 other countries, banning foreigners with records of visiting those countries in the past 2 weeks, while invalidating visas for the rest of the world. The additional step on the 14 countries will take effect from Wednesday. The entry ban and the visa restrictions, initially set to end on 30th of April, are extended until the end of May. U.S. President Donald Trump has nominated senior Indian-American diplomat Manisha Singh as America's next envoy to the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development (OECD). Manisha Singh is currently Assistant Secretary of State for Economic and Business Affairs at the State Department, headquarters in Paris, France. The OECD is an intergovernmental economic organization with 36 member countries to stimulate economic progress and world trade. Israeli warplanes flying over Lebanon fired missiles toward areas near Damascus on early Monday, killing 3 civilians, the Syrian military and state media said, while a war monitoring group said 4 Iran-backed fighters were also killed. The military said Syrian air defenses shot down some of the missiles in the attack, which happened around dawn. The Britain-based Syrian Observatory for Human Rights, a group that tracks the Syrian civil war, said the missiles hit positions belonging to Iran and its regional proxies, killing 4 fighters and causing damage south of Damascus. The airstrike is the 4th in Syria in less than a month, despite the coronavirus pandemic gripping the region. UN Secretary-General Antonio Guterres has warned that the risk of radicalization can increase during the COVID-19 pandemic as extremist groups seek to exploit the anger and despair of the young, asserting the world cannot afford a lost generation due to the global crisis. In a video conference on Monday, Guterres told the Security Council that even before the current crisis, young people were facing enormous challenges. Listing startling numbers, he said 1 of every 5 young people was already not in education, training, or employment, and 1 of every 4 is affected by violence or conflict. Every year, 12 million girls become mothers while they themselves are still children. Issuing a call to action on youth, peace and security, Guterres said the world cannot afford a lost generation of youth, their lives set back by COVID-19 and their voices stifled by a lack of participation. More than 200 doctors from Cuba have arrived in South Africa to help fight the COVID-19 pandemic. The doctors, including community health and infectious disease specialists, arrived early Monday morning and were welcomed by military and health authorities. South Africa requested assistance from the Cuban government, which is sending more than 1,000 doctors to 22 countries, including Togo, Cape Verde, and Angola in Africa. South Africa has reported the highest number of confirmed COVID-19 infections in Africa, with at least 4,546 cases and 87 deaths. Government of Bangladesh will operate 6 more flights from India to bring back its stranded nationals back to the country. The national carrier, Biman Bangladesh, has arranged flight on 1st May from Kolkata, 2nd May from Delhi, and 3rd May from Mumbai to Dhaka. The private US Bangla Airlines will also operate 3 more flights from Chennai on 30th April, 1st May, and 2nd May to bring back Bangladeshi citizens from India. The Bangladesh High Commission in Delhi, in its circular, has asked the passengers availing of the special flight to bring COVID-19 free or COVID-19 symptom-free medical certificate with them before boarding the flight. Earlier, nearly 1,000 Bangladeshi nationals were brought back to the country through 6 chartered flights from India. 5 of these flights originated from Chennai, while 1 took off from Delhi. Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Monday said that the lockdown due to COVID-19 pandemic has yielded positive results as the country has managed to save thousands of lives in the past 1.5 months. He said this while interacting with chief ministers of states via video conferencing to discuss the emerging situation and plan ahead for tackling the pandemic. This was the 4th such interaction of the Prime Minister with the chief ministers. Mr. Modi said India's population is comparable to that of the combined population of several countries. The situation in many countries, including India, was almost similar at the start of March. He has emphasized the importance of restarting the economy along with fight against COVID-19. Mr. Modi suggested that the country will need to focus on a 2-pronged approach to preserve public health and revive economic activities. Mr. Modi called upon the states to firm up standard operating procedures, SOP, for restarting manufacturing in a graded manner in green zones. And that is the end of this news bulletin.
If the current COVID-19 outbreak has got you feeling stressed out and anxious, then a calming yoga flow can definitely help. We care for your well-being and therefore, we bring for our listeners Yoga on Radio. Practice some easy asanas with Yogacharya Surakshit Goswami and keep yourself healthy and rejuvenated.
Dear listeners, today we will practice Paschimottanasana. This asana reduces fatty deposits in the abdomen, removes anxiety, anger, stress, irritability, and calms the mind. It stretches the spine and brings flexibility. This asana is good for constipation and digestive disorders. It is useful for increasing height in children. Regular practice cures impotency and enhances the sexual power. It also tones the abdominal pelvic organs and balances the menstrual cycles. This asana is recommended especially for women after delivery. Precautions. Pregnant women should not practice this asana, and persons suffering from slip disc or sciatica problem, asthma and ulcer patients should also avoid this asana.
Sit down straight with your legs together, stretching in front of you. Keep your head, neck and spine erect. Place the palms on the respective knees. Now, bend your head and trunk slowly forward to catch the toes with the thumb, index and middle fingers without bending the knees. Take a deep breath and exhale slowly. Try to touch your head to both your knees. Bend the arm and try to touch the elbow to the floor. Exhale completely and, holding your breath, stay in this posture for a few seconds. After a few seconds, slowly return to your starting position. Breathe normally. Repeat this 2 to 3 times.
The world is grappling with possibly the worst public health crisis seen in more than a century. The COVID-19 pandemic has gripped nations, compelling governments to impose countrywide lockdowns to contain the spread of the deadly virus. Government of India is taking all necessary steps to ensure the well-being of its citizens. The most important factor in preventing the spread of the virus locally is to empower the citizens with the right information and taking precautions as per the advisories being issued by Ministry of Health and Family Welfare and World Health Organization. We share with you one such advisory. Have a look.
Hi friends, let me give you some practical tips to look after your mental health during this particular time. Get the right information, because when you have information, you tend not to get afraid and not to panic. Be positive. Most people will recover from this. Keep yourself busy during self-isolation. Have a proper routine. Sleep well, eat well, get adequate exercise. Do something to calm your mind like yoga, deep breathing and so on. Reach out to friends. Develop a hobby, painting, singing, rangoli, anything like that. Of course, reach out to others who need help, the elderly, the poor. These are people who can do with your help. Avoid alcohol, drugs of any kind which are not prescribed, as well as tobacco. And finally, be happy, be safe, and be sensible. Thank you.
India is at a critical stage in its fight against coronavirus as fears of community transmissions rise. During its lockdown, frontline workers are still going out every day to win what one doctor described as a war India can't afford to lose. In this section, we bring to you the best of advices talking about various aspects of coronavirus.
Namaste. Greetings to the listeners of General Overseas Service of ESD, All India Radio. Let me introduce myself. I'm Dr. Seema Bhatt and I'm a practicing pathologist. I'm here today to talk to you about the COVID 19 pandemic our country is facing, as well as we all know that it's a global pandemic. So, to start with, let me introduce you what I'm going to talk about. I'm going to tell you the role of the essential health services as they stand today for the general public. What do we mean by essential health services and how it should be used at this point is so important for us to understand, for the general public to understand that how they can contribute at this time, since you all know that the health workers are working overtime and the essential health services are still functioning. So I'm here today in my role as a doctor to just explain to you what is essential health services and when and where you should use them. To start, I would like to reinforce what everybody is telling you every day on social media, on televisions, on news. Stay home, stay safe. I will also add stay connected. For information, stay connected to neighbors, your friends, your people who can influence you. Stay connected to anybody who makes you happy. And we have all the means these days in this era of technology. And a little bit, I will also add that these are difficult, trying times for a doctor, for a general person, for a person who's working. It's a difficult time for the country. So, one thing which I say is not as a doctor, but as a human to human, I say stay kind. Be kind to everybody you meet and help out in whatever place you are. It's not just that we as doctors are in the front. Every person in this country, in this planet, has something to contribute in fighting this virus. And together we will. We will not panic, we will overcome. So now I come to talking about essential services and the stage we are in. Right now, we are in the third stage of spread, which is known as community spread. Now, here is the role which is like absolutely important of social distancing, because this is the only way we can beat community spread. And I'm sure all of you who are watching the news know what I mean by it. Large congregations have to be avoided, and we know that they have not been so far. In the name of religion, be it any religion, I don't take any name, people do not understand that God will not help you until you help yourself. And the religious leaders, the people of influence, have fooled general innocent public by having these congregations. Now, you also know that if a single doctor is infected in a hospital, the hospital goes into lockdown. So herein comes the role of the essential service. By essential services, we mean that all the hospitals all across India are open. Do not panic that the medical services are not available. As addressed on the eve of the lockdown by our great statesman, Prime Minister, who is leading from the front, that all hospitals will remain open for essential services. The medical shops will be open, will be giving all sorts of medicine. Now, since I am a pathologist, I would like to say that all the hospitals are running all emergency tests, all pathology tests. COVID 19 tests are only being done if a patient is serious, and there are certain guidelines. They are being done by some labs all across India. I am coming to routine, like I am a patient today, I get a headache and it's a throbbing headache. Should I visit the doctor? No. Okay, second scenario, I think my mother is sick and she seems to be having a 99-degree temperature. Should I take her to the hospital? No. Okay. Third scenario. I think I'm about to go into labor. Should I go to the hospital? Yes. I think that my father is facing severe breathlessness. He seems to be having a heart attack. Should I take him to the hospital? Yes. So herein comes the use of discretion on what is essential and what is not. Because there are certain things which are unavoidable and you take a certain amount of risk. Right now, all the OPDs are closed because when you wait in the OPD, you cannot practice social distancing. You sit close. So you have to take a call that a minor headache, you can take a pill on your own. If you seem to have a cold, which is like a run of the mill cold, you don't have to go anywhere. You can call up doctors. All doctors are giving telemedicine. And I'm sure that everybody has their doctor's number fed. So doctors right now are giving free telephonic consultations regarding any issue you tap them on, be it mental health. Of course, we cannot do blood tests over the telephone, but so many patients ring me up and I give them the correct advice. This is what you can do. But first and foremost, as far as possible, do not go to the doctor, do not go to the hospitals unless it is a life and death situation. That is the contribution which you have to make in an educated society, that you do not crowd the hospitals, you do not get either infect yourself or infect the doctor. Even if you feel you have a fever, there is no really good reason to go to the hospital. But now if you check the website, which is really very good, www.mygov.in, corona updates, all sorts of phone numbers, all sorts of advice, any query you have is solved. So that is the right approach. Do not just go into hospitals for any small trivial ailment. This is where you can help. The doctor.
During lockdown in India, many citizens are voluntarily participating in creating awareness and helping the less privileged.
Namaste. Greetings to the General Overseas Service of the ESD All India Radio. I am Viren Khanna and I am a commercial pilot and the founder of the New Delhi Nature Society. I started this NGO to spread awareness and protect the environment. Through this NGO, we conduct awareness programs and workshops in schools and colleges regarding environment-related matters like compassion for animals, air pollution, how to save trees, waste management, etc. We also work with the authorities to protect the environment. We use our social media channels to spread awareness with our audience, and we also save trees and rescue animals in need. We connect with many NGOs around the city in order to work together for environment protection. Currently, we are working on an app to save trees, so if there is a tree getting cut near you, then you will get a notification on your phone. Or if you see a tree being cut nearby, then you can post it on the app and connect with people who can help you save the trees. Please visit our website www.ndns.in for more details and find us on our Facebook, Twitter or YouTube channel. We conduct many interesting workshops and nature walks like tree climbing and fireflies walk, seed ball workshops, digital detox programs, and much more. We have planted many trees in Delhi, and we have also managed to save many trees from being cut. In some cases, we were able to re-erect the trees that had fallen due to storms. So please feel free to get in touch with us if you would like to get involved for protecting our environment. We usually get volunteers and interns from colleges who help us in our daily functioning. During this time, we don't have interns coming to us, so we're working with a smaller team people are working from wherever they are. I hope you stay safe and please enjoy the experience of the natural environment around you. Listen to the birds, take pictures, and make videos of butterflies and insects and share it online. And don't forget to look at the stars at night. The sky is clearer these days with pollution levels the lowest in 20 years. Please put some food and water outside for all the animals since they cannot find any human leftovers these days. And if you are getting bored, I highly recommend you to watch some nature documentaries. Thank you and take care.
My name is Mayank and by profession I am a yoga therapist. The modern world is facing a pandemic COVID-19 that requires changes to be made consciously by individuals. This is time of transition. Either we can go down or depressed or raise up. The world is panic and questioning more. Keep yourself away from the rumors and keep yourself away from negative thoughts and be positive. We all need to know that our thought is important. Raising our thought by yogic practice. The yogic practices only do not improve your life but also changes the vibes around you. The easiest way to increase the positive vibes is reciting mantra and repeat it and add energy to the world, society and in your family. Because mantra and vibes have directly effect on our body and spirit. For example, you can recite Om Namah Shivaya or any mantra you know correctly. These mantra provides positive vibes to those who lost their relatives, and also we can practice the pranayama because if prana get weak, it may lose the energy. And other thing to keep in your mind, keep yourself calm and talk to your neighbor and friends and can call them and use confronting words like how are you and stay safe and offer empathy by listening. Right now people are very tense, so they can relax in 3 steps. First, physical relaxation. By practicing asanas, we can stretch our physical body and release the physical tension. Next, mentally relaxation. By focusing, reading books, practicing pranayama and focus in positivity because empty mind is house of evil. Spiritual relaxation means to know more about you and focus on nature and just contemplating, which brings the spiritual relaxation. And the next important thing is mental emotional balance. If you feel tension, then focus on inhalation and exhalation. This practice centric your mind and try to avoid the overthinking and anger. And in case of anxious or doubting or anger, appreciate yourself and increase your faith because faith keeps you going and faith also provides you strength. So it is time to faith, not doubt, and try to connection your faith to God, to whom you believe. So keep strong yourself. And next thing is to help people who are helpless by providing them ration and other needful things. And also remember one more thing, take food or diet in quantity and qualityful way because food affects our mind fluctuation, and before eating sterilize fruit and vegetables properly. Now I would like to conclude my words and very thankful to all India listeners. Thank you.
This broadcast came to you from the digital channel of the General Overseas Service of All India Radio.